So hundreds of people from 44 countries are taking part in the mission to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza. The Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg is among them. She was detained and deported by Israel after its military intercepted another flotilla heading for Gaza in June. Organisers say more boats are expected to join the mission next week, setting off from Tunisia and other Mediterranean ports. Well, joining us now from the flotilla boat is Tadhg Hickey. He's an Irish comedian and activist with the Global Sumud Flotilla. Thanks for your time and for speaking to us. You leave in a few hours, Gaza-bound, of course. What's the mood like amongst you and your fellow flotilla members?
First of all, thanks for having me, guys, and apologies. I'm going to have to put my face a little bit close to here at times. So the mood is it's kind of quite determined, and it's actually really beautiful being part of something that's truly global. I mean, sometimes people feel like the solidarity is just in pockets, or it might just be amongst Arab people. Or there's 44 delegations here, and there's many people who have already been on attempts to break the siege before. And I think what's beautiful that they haven't been deterred by having slander against them. Some of them have been attacked. They've been on boats that have literally been bombed by the Israelis. But there's a determination and a relentlessness to keep going. And I think that's what's exciting. And I feel like Israel has a real problem on its hands when the world really, truly unites. It feels like a humanity united, standing up against genocide and man-made starvation. And I think it's just shaming Western governments, particularly Western governments, that we are doing the bare minimum because the Western governments won't do the bare minimum, which is sanction this rogue state and to put some serious, meaningful diplomatic pressure on them to literally stop starving people to death.
Here's the thing, Tadhg. I mean, the flotilla's official purpose is to break the siege of Gaza, right? But we can say with almost certainty, and this is based on history and previous flotillas, that you will not break the siege and you will be intercepted by the Israeli military. So what you're doing, to a large extent, maybe symbolic and sending a message. Is that fair to say? Is that how you see it? And if so, what is that message you're sending and to whom?
I personally wouldn't frame it that way. I would frame it in a way of we are hoping and determined to set up a humanitarian corridor. That's what we're doing. We're not setting sail planning. Of course, we've planned for all sorts of scenarios, but we're not thinking, it's not our goal or ambition to be intercepted, because that would be illegal. We're traveling in international waters. We're completely peaceful. It's a non-violent mission. And we're doing, as I say, the bare minimum to break the siege and bring humanitarian aid. Think baby formula to the Gaza Strip. These are unthinkable restrictions we've never seen the likes of in modern times. So our aim is to get to Gaza, and we're not heroes. We're not coming to save Gaza. In many ways, we're coming to save ourselves, to save our own humanity, because humanity is at an all low point right now in the world. We aim to set up a humanitarian corridor, and I think if we say you're going to probably get it intercepted, really, it's just symbolic, or what's the point? Then we kind of normalise the war crimes of the blockade. We normalise the war crimes of genocide and ethnic cleansing and starvation. So we're on the right side of history. We're in the right. We're peaceful. We just want to bring aid to Gaza. And I think that's what's normal. What's abnormal is that the Western governments particularly are not helping to do that. We need to remember that we're on the right side of history, and it's the governments of the world largely that are in the wrong.
I heard you speaking earlier at the press conference, and you said that this is not something that you would have chosen to do. So why do you feel like it's important for you personally to join this flotilla?
Well, yeah, I'm not a boats guy. As you can see, I'm struggling here with my big, bald, white Irish head. I've got three beautiful daughters. Two of them are very young. One is two years and a bit. The other's 14 weeks old. I don't necessarily want to be here. I'm not trying to come here to get selfies, as the likes of Piers Morgan might claim. We're here, again, we're doing the bare minimum because our government won't do the bare minimum. And the reason I'm here as well is because it's tough being away from my kids for 3 weeks or more. I'm going to miss them so much. It's going to break my heart. But it would be tougher in 10 years' time when my kids ask me, what did I do during the Gaza Holocaust? If I had to tell them, well, I didn't do enough. I was like my government. I just made pretty speeches, but I didn't take any meaningful action. The people are taking the meaningful action. And I believe that my children and myself are not better or worse than any other human being or any other child in the world. And I think if you have that mentality, you couldn't possibly allow man-made starvation and extermination to go on. if we encourage the feeling that no one's better than anyone else, because it's drilled into us, that the superiority is drilled into us, especially in white countries. That's what we need to work on. That's what we need to end, the dehumanization. So somebody said to me before I went, why do you have to go? And I said to them, well, why not me? Why not me? And the final word is, there's so many Irish here. What we would love to do is to not go at all. We'd love to go home if the Irish government just grew a spine, stopped allowing US warplanes in Shannon Airport to deliver weapons for the extermination, stop central banks from buying Israeli war bonds, and stop the roaring trade between Ireland and Israel, then we wouldn't have to be here.
Okay, well, we will certainly be following the path of the flotilla and the journey as you embark on it. Tadhg Hickey, we thank you so much for joining us this hour from Barcelona.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Peace and love.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.